what he had for breakfast and what he didn't have. You listen here. Oh my gosh! Oh my goodness! Oh my God!
In the world of sports, fans are pretty crazy about their teams and everything about them. That being said, mascots in all different sports have been stepping it up to show their team appreciation. And of course, this doesn't always end well. That's why we're breaking down the 21 funniest mascot moments in sports. Number 21, Brutus gets blasted. In one Ohio State spring game, the famed Buckeye mascot Brutus was allowed to play quarterback and run one play in the game, resulting in Brutus getting absolutely leveled by a Buckeye defender. Brutus clearly spends too much time playing the NCAA video game and thought he was Heisman hopeful Braxton Miller. If there's one thing that can be sure though, both sides were shocked at the blow. Number 20, S.J. Sharkey left hanging. On March 12, 1999, San Jose Sharks mascot S.J. Sharkey got stuck hanging from the rafters for over an hour. Thankfully, Sharkey survived and was able to make an appearance on TV following the scary scene. Watch the story brilliantly retold by Jon Stewart and his investigative team. Long live S.J. Sharkey. There's no doubt that his fans will be retelling this story for years and years to come. Number 19, Raptors mascot Double Double. One of the most hilarious video clips of mascot history. The inflatable Toronto Raptors mascot tries to rollerblade down the stairs during a break in the Raptor game. Just seconds after getting up from the embarrassing tumble, the Raptor then tries to skate across the court and completely face plants near the free throw line. Number 18, Big Game Brawl. The University of California at Berkeley and Stanford University share an intense 121-year rivalry, the ninth longest in the NCAA history. During a basketball game between the two universities, the Cal Bear and Stanford Tree started a brawl on the court that ended up being recorded as a split decision victory for the Tree. Number 17, mascot kills self-esteem. During a minor league baseball game, this mascot tried to energize the crowd by flying around the baseball diamond on an ATV four-wheeler. Instead of just cruising around, the Bluebird lost control of the off-road vehicle and completely wiped out. The scene is pretty surreal, and one you definitely don't want to miss out on. Number 16, Mr. Red loses his head. During a beautiful day game in Cincinnati, the Reds mascot was going for a ride around the diamond before falling off the vehicle and losing his head. I'm sure the Reds organization had to apologize for any future nightmares the young Ohio fans may have had. Number 15, Jazz Bears Big Tumble. The NBA Utah Jazz have one of the most active mascots in all of sports, Jazz Bear. In a video captured years back, fans watch as the bear tries to ride a surfboard down the lower level of the stadium and embarrassingly wipes out. The bear didn't stop there though, and even went so far as to call a Cleveland Cavs fan a loser before a fight broke out. It's not Jazz Bear's proudest moment, but definitely a scene to remember for Utah Jazz fans all over. Number 14, Bingo the Bee. Bingo the Bee has been known for his fails over the years. Many fans know he's pretty easy to fall over. But when New York Mets prospect Luka Duda hit a towering grand slam during a 2009 minor league game, they were never prepared for what Bingo the Bee was going to do next. While the homer itself is pretty impressive, Bingo the Bee's epic fail that came after the home run was far more entertaining. Number 13, Melanie Walker's epic win. Jamaican track star Melanie Walker tried to celebrate a win during the IAAF World Track and Field Championship meet by hopping on the mascot's back and proudly waving the Jamaican flag. Instead, the mascot ended up running into a cart and knocked both of them over. Even so, Melanie hopped right up and didn't seem fazed by it whatsoever. In fact, the fans went crazy. This just confirms that those mascots can see absolutely nothing underneath. Number 12, Rice Owl gets ejected. Rice Owls Basketball, where amazing happens. This is a playful spin on the NBA's Where Amazing Happens campaign, but even more hilarious is why the owl was ejected by the referee in the first place. Is that even legal? It all happened in the school's game against Tulane, after apparently arguing a call and refusing to move off the baseline to allow for the inbound pass. But it turns out there was more. Sammy headbutts referee Curtis Shaw, and the Rice Owl ends up going crazy. Number 11, It's peanut butter jelly time. This famed banana mascot frequently taunts security guards during breaks in the action. In this special instance, the banana was forced to back off and submit to defeat as the security guard dominated the dance-off. That was one sad banana, but one happy crowd. There's one thing for sure, mascots almost never win the dance competitions. Number 10, vicious spike sails high. Middle Tennessee State's mascot Lightning was just hanging out in the back of the Blue Raiders women's volleyball matchup against Florida Atlantic. After a vicious spike sailed a bit too high, Lightning got a strike of his own in a region no man wants to feel pain. If that wasn't enough, thousands of fans were there to watch and record the entire thing for our pleasure. Number 9, Big Ten beatdown. Big Ten conference football is no joke. These schools share a rivalry with seemingly every conference foe. During this Michigan State-Wisconsin game, Michigan State's Sparty defended the honor of Michigan State football by absolutely destroying Wisconsin's Bucky Badger after the Badger stole the Michigan State flag. This is what college football is all about. Number 8, tough day for Banjo. During the 2009 NBA All-Star break, team mascots from all over the league took part in a halftime show for the ages. Brutus from the NBA Charlotte's Bobcats chucked a half-court shot over his head that Milwaukee Bucks mascot Bango inadvertently knocked into the basket. After realizing what he just did, Banjo tried to slide through the hoop and land on the court, evidently shredding his ACL in the process. Number 7, mascot fights back. After Vanderbilt dropped a home game to SEC rival Tennessee, Vandy's mascot, Mr. C, got into a riff with a student in the student section. Mr. C actually fought back in his own student section and gave a Vanderbilt student a bloody nose after punching him in the face. This just goes to prove that mascots aren't playing around. Officials practically had to swarm in to break the thing up. Number 6, nothing worse than burnt wings. Here is one of the most famous mascot fails of all time. The NHL's Anaheim Ducks mascot tried to jump over a bonfire on the ice and failed miserably. It was so miserable the crowd just sat there in shock as attendants around the mascot had to drag him away from the flames and towards safety. The Anaheim Ducks mascot wouldn't be jumping over fires anytime soon. After all though, at least he didn't fail like Will Ferrell in Old School. Go Cougars! Number 5, triple A for effort. During a break in this minor league baseball game, 2 mascots danced on top of the dugout to entertain the crowd. Just as the dance competition started to heat up, the moonwalking bear mascot epically failed and slipped off the top of the dugout onto the ground. Seeing the bear tumble off is probably one of the most hilarious mascot moments out there. And of course, like any other mascot moment, there's number 4, Puddles move 1-0. Why would anyone try to fight the world-famous Oregon Duck? Thanks to Oregon's incredible offensive attack, the Duck does more push-ups than any mascot in the league. During a matchup between the Oregon Ducks and Houston Cougars, Puddles the Duck went toe-to-toe with the Cougar and unanimously moved his fighting career 1-0. Shout out to Nike for making a duck the best-looking mascot in college sports. Number 3, Birthday Bear. The Utah Jazz Entertainment crew made a valiant effort to sing a special fan happy birthday. While this was a very nice gesture, it's too bad Jazz Bear accidentally dropped the well-lit birthday cake onto fans in the lower level. Number 2, New Jersey Devil. Fans will always have a fond memory of the NJ Devil. For years, they will always remember him for firing some of the t-shirt cannon Gatling guns into a crowd of people before Game 1 of the 2012 Stanley Cup Final in New Jersey. What is that, you ask? Imagine a t-shirt cannon, but on steroids. He made real headlines a couple of years ago when he made an appearance at a kid's party and literally ran through a glass window. It was such a shock, everyone was literally silent. The NJ Devil didn't break character though. You have to give him credit for that one at least. Number 1, Harvey the Hound loses his tongue. The Battle of Alberta is so intense that it doesn't just stay on the ice with the players. It also extends to the coaches and mascots? Former Oilers coach Craig McTavish has seen enough of Harvey the Hound's tongue and ripped the whole thing out of his mouth. After he did, he turned around and tossed the tongue to one of the kids in the front row. Later, Harvey made his triumphant return. this time with a 4-foot-long tongue hanging out of his mouth. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out on any new updates. This has been our breakdown of the 21 funniest mascot moments in sports.